Some statue talk. Today we will do this guy, the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman Premium Format from Sideshow Collectibles. Before I started this, I should have moved him over, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. So let's do that now. Hold on. I'm going to prop this up. Yeah, I've got him like, so you can sort of see here. Looks kind of neat. Next to my Destined to Win side poster, and then I've got on this side, I've got my Dark Knight printer and the Batman one. So, well, Batman corner over here. I might do get like one of those little corner shelves and move that little guy, like that one, that Kodo, and do like a corner shelf, like right there. Put that one up there. So that'll be sort of like the Batman corner, minus obviously my Justice League going on over here. Okay, I'm gonna prop this up for a second, and then you can, hold on, double tap. All right, hold on. This is. Woo. I think I've got something in my lens there. All right, hold on. Stand up, phone. There we go. Okay. While I move this thing. Got him on here. So, there we go. You could do it like that too, I guess, and do like a real formal review, YouTube style, but I don't think I'll be able to. You can kind of see it. That might work. How does that look, Lassa? Is it really bad? How's the lighting? Is it terrible? I need feedback. No, you're good. Okay, cool. I feel bad. I should have showered before this. Short hair. Yes, it is short hair, Mike. I know. And I need a... It's getting hot here, man. I have to. I just got back from the gym, so I probably should have showered before I did this. Check on the baby here. Dude, fall asleep. Okay. If I look over, it's because I'm looking at the baby monitor. I'll pull it closer when I talk about it, but let me do a quick overview of this first, and then if you have questions, fire away. So this is the 1989 Michael Keaton Premium Format statue from Sideshow Collectibles. I believe someone said that this is it stands 23 inches tall, so almost 2 feet. It is mixed media, so if you're not familiar with what that means, it just means that it's a mixture of sculpt and materials. So in this case, the different materials are polystone, which is pretty standard for most of these statues. And then the stairs themselves, which I'll get closer on, but this base here is, I believe it's plastic, but it looks a lot like metal. I mean, the way that it actually, the way that it's been done and the paint application, it actually looks like metal. And then the other piece that is mixed media is the cape itself. So unlike the comic version, which is behind me, which is a sculpted cape, this is a fully leather cape, and it's actually really nice. They didn't cheap out at all. I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm sure it is mass produced and is relatively cheap, but the actual material itself feels actually really nice. It's probably like a faux leather, but they did a good job. It actually feels really nice. So this is the just so that I can be clear, this is the EX edition, so the exclusive. What makes it exclusive is the actual swap out hand that I think you can sort of see there, but I'll get closer. So this guy here, right there, which is the grappling gun from the iconic scene in the movie, well, a couple scenes. It's not the one that splits out. It's like the standard grappling gun. unless there was one and maybe this does both. I'm not sure. So I can take it off for you guys. So this is it's on by magnets. There is some of these statues. They've been going back and forth between doing pegs and doing magnets. I'm happy to say that they chose the magnet on this one. Sorry, I'll get out of this. So yeah, poor Batman. But they used a magnet on this one. It's a good strong magnet, which is really nice, and it stays on there really well. But this is the swap out piece for the EX. So if you're thinking about ever picking one of these up, is this worth the extra? I don't know. I mean, does it add anything? It's, to be honest with you, it's kind of hidden within the statue, so you kind of have to look, depending on the way that you put the cape. But it's really well done, this piece. So I'll get a little closer here so you can see the detail. So even from like a little sort of grip in his hand to the detail actually on the grappling gun itself, it's all fully realized. It's sort of hard to see with that lighting there, I'm sorry, but yeah, like just the details on the actual gun itself and the hands, the sculpt of the glove, it's really nice. But it's, you know, so if you were able to pick up an EX before they sold out, I would say, you know, it was totally worth it. But if you're paying extra for it, I got a great deal on it. I don't know. I guess that depends on how hardcore of a Batman fan you are. So anyway, we'll reattach it on. There you go, Mr. Keaton. Should be good to go now. Yeah, so that's on there. So as you can see, like it sort of depends on how you want to sort of put the cape. So I try to expose it so you can at least see it depending on the angle. Yeah, and then as far as the actual statue itself, it's hard to see it from that distance. I really should like prop the thing up on something so you can see it. Well, why don't I get some of you guys looking at me because I'm sure to see me. Anyways, so we'll get close here and see if we can take advantage of this. Okay, so yeah, I mean the actual costume itself is still all polystone. Dude, nice abs. But the it looks like the rubber statue. Absolutely, it looks like the rubber suit from the movie. And his face, dude. His face here, I gotta get some, let's see if I can get some better light on it. Going this way. I think it's better if I go this way. Here, hold on. Get it from this angle. There you go, that's better. That's way better. Natural light, that's always the best. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, dude, look at that. Like bananas. You know, I've like got Michael Keaton basically staring at me when I'm working in the office. It's just nuts. So, but so that is the better shot. I mean, isn't that crazy, Lassa? I mean, like it really is spot on. I mean, it's one of the best face sculpts. I mean, the fact that like half of his face, he is so uniquely identified as that Batman. Like just the lines in his face and sort of his lips and things like that are just so uniquely Keaton. But I think they nailed it just by half his face. Exactly. Like, I mean, it's uncanny. And then for them to reproduce that for as many times. Now this is, I don't know which edition number this is. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's limited. They only made so many of the EX. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go look at the rest of the stuff. So I mentioned before sort of the quality of the actual steps. First, let me back up. Like some of these bases get kind of knocked, and I'll show you guys some of the other ones because they're relatively generic. This is one of, if not the best base that I've seen for a character out of all the statues that Sideshow's created. And I say that because of the creative nature of it. And I think it perfectly encapsulates this character. Nothing compares to Magneto's throne. Yeah, well, okay. Yes, that's true. Touche. The XM Magneto is probably, that's probably the best, to be honest. That is probably the best. Will I ever own that one? If I get some crazy No, I won't. I won't pay that. The aftermarket prices on what those XM statues are going for is just nuts. So that probably will not happen. But outside of that XM Magneto, this is the best, I think, or one of. So the stalactites here, I'm going to rotate it around so you can see on my recently acquired Lazy Susan here. I mean, look at this. Like, they didn't have to do any of this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's amazing. It's like a fully realized aspect or part of the cave. And then they included these magnetic bats to hang as well, just for added detail. You know, and they snap on there. And they've got, you know, a pair of them here too. There's a magnet underneath there. Just little details, and that's what makes these things so cool, I think, is when they take the time to do those details. This is another really cool detail, and this is why I think this is one of the best statues that I own, if not probably going to be one of the best statues of 2015, and it partly is just for the attention to detail. They've released a few different 1989 Batmans in smaller scale. I think Hot Toys has released a 1/6 scale before. I don't do 1/6 scales, once in a while I do 1/6 scales, but not anymore. But yeah, but the, okay, example, okay? Dude, the Nikes from the movie, okay? So they used, in the costume, Tim Burton, instead of doing like actual custom boots, which they kind of are custom, but what they did was they took Nikes and then they added sort of the armor to it. And those are legit like Nike Airs, like Air Force Max from like the late 80s, early 90s, which I just think is awesome. You can see the swoosh right there. So really cool. That's neat. Let me just light away over here so it's not giving us hell. So yeah, Nikes. They were Nikes in the movie. So and like I said, that's why this is such a great piece. Is just because the attention to detail, I think, is really spectacular. So, you know what? I don't even think I need this light on. I'm going to turn this off. There. I don't think it's adding anything. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Okay. All right, baby check. Hold on. He's all right. 2 kids sleeping. Nice. One is down. Other one is trying. All right. Yeah, Dad for the win. All right, cool. Yeah. So anyway, this is you know, they even added little details like nicks in the metal and things like that, like wear and tear. You can sort of see the little stuff there, which is great. His feet are this one here has a peg that's holding it down there as well. I like this little detail here. You can sort of like decide how you want him to hold like if you want him to hold the cape, you can sort of wrap it around him if you kind of want to do sort of this look. Then it falls. I kind of like him holding it, just the way that his hand is. I think it kind of looks kind of neat, like he's, you know, like he's holding the cape back a little bit. I don't know. How did I have it before? Yeah. He's holding it kind of like that. Yeah. So great piece. Love that iconic Tim Burton belt. The whole costume is great. Now, there is one gripe from many collectors. I don't really care that much because it's a statue, and really it probably, and I'm sure the artists had this discussion too when they were sculpting, but like I think it actually worked out for the better. So, Lassa, maybe you can, because I know you're the really only one watching right now. Can you guess what that issue or the gripe might be from hardcore collectors / 1989 Batman aficionados? I will give you a second to respond while I talk about other things. So if you can guess it, and then if you can't guess it within that time period, just say I don't know. Nope, not the symbol. The symbol is actually that is correct. That is an accurate symbol. And if it looks odd to you, there's a story behind that. So supposedly, that logo with the extra points, I guess, the little, like these little right here. So if that looks different, it's because they couldn't get something to do with the rights. They didn't have, you can actually look it up on Wikipedia about this movie. At the time, Tim Burton, and what's different and what's weird is that, so the iconic 1989 logo that you see on advertising and things like that, that doesn't look like this. At the time of filming, they didn't have the rights to the logo, and so they had to manipulate it to look like this, so it couldn't be the same way as it or couldn't look the same as the iconic DC Batman logo. So I think it was something to do with like a discrepant, like a Warner Brothers issue or something like that. But you can look it up. But it was a licensing issue, and so that's why that logo looks different than the traditional logo without the extra 2 points at the bottom. And what's funny is, yeah, that logo looks different than what the actual advertising Batman logo looks like, even for the film. So that's a good catch, but it is that is the same as the movie if you go back and watch it. Any other guesses on what it might be? I'll give you a hint. I'm focusing right on it. Any ideas? Yes, no? Nope, yours are accurate. All right. So for the sake of good television here, remember how this suit was basically fully rubberized. So what was one thing that that Keaton could not do while he was wearing the suit? I'll give you a second. I hope you're typing. All right, 3, 2, turn his head. There you go. You nailed it. So, yeah, so he could not turn his head. The way that the cowl was designed was too stiff with the rubber they used for him to be able to move his head. So when you watch the movie, everybody knows that he literally has to turn his whole body to look in the direction that he wanted to look. It was a kind of a menacing sort of thing, actually. It ended up kind of working to a really interesting effect visually in the movie, but in reality, probably not the most ideal situation. And actually, what's odd is even when Nolan did Batman Begins, it was one of the problems with the suit that he designed, which is so odd considering, you're talking about a gap of, 1989 to 2005 when that movie was released. You'd think they would have figured that out for Begins, but who knows? Maybe it was a plot line issue, or I'm not sure, but which they obviously addressed in the Dark Knight. But yeah, so the sculptors made a artistic choice to have him with his head cocked a little bit to the left, which I do think was the right decision, because I do think it gives the statue a bit of gravitas when you angle it at the right in the right way. Like I'll put, this is sort of how I display it, sort of a little off angled like this. So he's sort of looking, and I think in general it was the right decision. So that's the only non-movie accurate portion of the statue that I can see, but I think it was the right move because I do think that it adds a lot to the actual overall look of the piece. So yeah, so that is the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman exclusive edition from Sideshow Collectibles. I'll sort of focus in real quick on the face here so you can see some of the detail. I think the phone actually, tell me last if it captures it pretty well, like as far as like the phone and the video quality. Like can you see like the detail on the face and stuff like that? Is it pretty good? All right, cool. Thanks for watching.